Hello and welcome to Buff Lab. Now, we know from our primary school science and that nutrition is important. When we were younger, someone else was taking care of that for us, ensuring we ate nutritious meals and that we were strong and healthy. But now that we are older and have families of our own, that responsibility lies squarely on our shoulders. Tusk, tusk. Good nutrition is a critical part of health and development, according to the World Health Organization. Better nutrition is related to improved health at all ages and a lower risk of diseases and longevity. So, today we want to discuss nutrition in our homes, what that looks like, what we are doing, what tips and hacks we are ensuring that our nutrition is on point and that our kids are strong and healthy, and of course, as parents ourselves. So, ladies, what is the nutrition situation in your homes?
The nutrition situation in my home, I feel, has been so for a very long time. It wasn't so great because I didn't know how to balance having a job, having a business, having work, and for a very long period of my home situation, my marriage situation, we literally ate out. And then I got a huge complaint from the people that complain, who you know. I got a huge complaint, and my husband was saying, girl, it would be nice to eat home food. And then he made it look like it would be nice to have home food on Sunday. I'm like, oh, just Sunday. But as time went on, he was honest with me and told me, no, it would just be nice to eat food from home as opposed to a restaurant, which was what I was doing. And so I tried. And in that trying, as you guys have always known, there was a point at which I went into a huge depression. Many things brought it up, but during that depression, one of the things that I needed to sort out was our nutrition at home and our feeding situation at home. I hated having to maybe be at the bank. I'm running a campaign. In the business, there's a recruitment that needs to get done. And then I'm also being asked, what food will we have? And I was just like, at eating is usual. It is routine. We have to eat every evening. We have to eat every lunch. I've got to get a handle on this. So I sat down one day during that depression that I was going through, and I wrote an entire year's meal plan, 365 days, because I was like, I'm not coming back to this. I'm not doing this again. I am not coming back to be asked, what are we eating? On top of writing that entire year's meal plan, I did the shopping list for each week because I was just like, again, I'm not coming back to this situation. So once that was done, it now just became a thing of implementation. How can I ensure that we are implementing the meal plan as planned? So I talked to a guy in the market. I gave him my usual list. The list is the same in week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4 of every month. So he just knows week 1 sent to the Mulondos, week 2 sent to the Mulondos, week 3, week 4 sent to the Mulondos, and then all of us in the home, like, we really can see what is supposed to be eaten today and then that's what we eat. So when I was planning the meals were nutritious, the meals were healthy. Now, are there days we can have very unhealthy meals? Absolutely, yes. We just don't eat what's on the menu and we eat what's at the restaurant. Do I want to cook something special, like a new recipe? Doesn't usually happen. But if I'm feeling like during a pandemic, I can get a recipe and I do it. All I just needed to do was to have a meal plan that was there, something stable, something known, and so that nobody is asking me about what food to eat. So that's my nutrition situation at home.
Wow, amazing, Manuela. I like that plan. I think you shared it with us a while ago, and it was like a whole year, man. Big ups. Most of us can only do maybe a month's plan, but the nutrition situation in my house is a bit what can I say? Okay, sometimes I plan, like beginning of the year, I planned. I'm like, okay, let's do this every every week. Let me, like, the timetable is there, but I don't like that it's sometimes we don't use it because the kids want to eat something different on that day. So there are weeks when I'm busy and the timetable has to work. When I'm not, like in the pandemic, or when you're on leave, or when you don't have to go away, you can bring in a few recipes, you try a few things. Lately we've been eating lots of baked chicken, which the kids absolutely love. So the nutrition, of course, for me, I feel very satisfied when I do a market shopping, which is no longer expensive lately. Like, you go to the market and find things, like you shop things of like 300K and you're like, oh, wow. But I like that. I feel very, very, very fulfilled when I do a market shopping, because then I know that if they have fruits other than, snacks, they'll be eating more healthy. Like, if the kids get hungry, they'll grab on a mango, they'll grab maybe a carrot. So that is what I've been introducing, that I have more of fresh fruits in the house than snacks that they can always bite on. But in regards to nutrition, we have a timetable that we follow, some months, and some months we don't. But like Manuela said, that idea of what are we eating today, like, can be so annoying. You wake up and they're asking, what are you eating? And you're like, oh shit, I don't want to do beef today, I did beans the other day, what do we do? And then if a timetable is also still saying beans, like, you get bored. So I keep altering and all that. But the timetable is there. It's just that sometimes the kids will prefer something else, and then we'll do that. But I absolutely love it when I have done my shopping from the market. I think, Manuela, I'm picking on your idea of getting someone to do that shopping, because it can be so demanding. I don't have someone doing that for me, and I think I need to find someone to do that, because then that is out of the way. It's something that has been disturbing me a lot. When you've not done the shopping, you feel like it's on your to-do list, it's hectic, you have a lot going on. Yeah, but when I do it, I feel very, very happy. I feel like I'm doing something special for the kids. They'll have a lot to just give them a more nutritious meal, and I think that's what it has been at mine. Yes, over to you, Rachel.
So it's interesting, Manuela. I think I sort of pick ideas from Manuela, but I've struggled with doing a meal plan. So what I have in my head is a template. I know that there has to be a food, which is most likely to be starch or a carb, then sauce, and then the one thing that I am big on is vegetables. There has to be vegetables. And at first, it was to just make the plate look a bit more full. Because when you just have food and sauce, someone can feel like, yeah, this is all you have cooked. And so I said, let me add a vegetable, until I had Micah. And because I had a C-section, and I remember when I was in the hospital, my mom told me the last thing you want to have is constipation after you have had this incision. So she fed me on vegetables, and I fell in love with them. So I really, really do love vegetables. I love salads, and so now I make sure that all my meals have a salad. For me, that's my idea of we are doing well via nutrition. So if it's not a salad or a vegetable, then we'll have an avocado on the side. And then now, more recently, I've also started being more deliberate about our sources being healthy. So I stick more to the legumes, beans, peas, even though my family sometimes are like, there. Peas, beans, G-nuts, and then the occasional chicken and fish. And then I've also been doing some liver here and there, and limiting on the red meat, which is beef and pork and all of those. Those are treats. They are like once in a while. So I would say, on a scale of 1 to 10, the nutrition situation in my home is probably at a 6. And the reason I say that is, so yes, we are big on snacking, but Micah has an interesting love for things like carrots and tomatoes recently. Like, he just comes and like, maybe I want a tomato. So I get a tomato, I take off the peels and slice it for him, sprinkle a little salt, and then that's what he snacks on. And he's happy to snack on that, or snack on a carrot, which thoroughly warms my heart. Because when it comes to vegetables in the food, he's a little picky. Some of them he's excited about them because he's seen them on Peppa Pig or some of the cartoons he's watched, like broccoli and cauliflower and carrots, and like they just excite him. So when he sees them on the plate, he's like, "Mommy, you made broccoli." Yeah, but eating them is a bit of a struggle. And I guess in terms of myself as a mom, I think like you, Manuela, we've been talking about the nutrition situation for us as moms, because what I eat sometimes is different from what the rest of my family eats, because I'm trying to limit carbs, I'm trying to get in my protein, I'm trying to get in my fiber. And so the juggling of, oh, now I have to cook for myself and then I have to cook for my family, that can be a nightmare. Sometimes I just throw in the towel and I'm like, I'm going to eat. Let me eat my white bread, my rice, my but we fall and we get up again. Which brings me to my next question. What tips have you employed to create healthy nutrition habits?
So personally, right now, I'm looking at substitutes a lot. So I'll give you an example, like because because we want to, let's say, for example, be healthy, and let's say maybe let me say it, full cream or full fat milk, or full milk is full fat. So what great replacement can we get? So maybe something low fat or plant-based milk. I was excited the other day to find that there's a supplier in Uganda for plant-based milk. So soy milk, soya milk, almond milk, rice milk, and that is way healthier than the dairy. Also, I mean, so have we been told. I love milk. I can't run away from milk. I'm told I shouldn't be having milk as an adult, or as long as I am above a certain age, 4 years, I shouldn't be having milk. So my home, my children, everybody shouldn't. We love soda, you guys. Coca-Cola in our home, my gosh. But we have to move on, and so there's things like now the without sugar, zero sugar, the zero sugar options. There's things like the soda water or sparkling water, which helps you alleviate that pressure of having, so for me, most of the replacements have been with the unhealthy stuff, or the things that we've been told are not very healthy, from white rice maybe to brown rice, from white sugar maybe to brown sugar. So those are the things right now that, like literally the biggest tip I would give. If you have to remove something from your diet, find a replacement for it. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for failure. And then the other tip that I would give is, there's somebody that I met who was talking to me about having more exotic fruits with our local fruits. I'm like, what do you mean? So say, for example, you have mangoes with like strawberries, to excite the kids, but also to make them aware that there's more than just our mangoes. You say, for example, if you do tomato and you put some raisins, it just it does something to it does something to the meal. I found my kids absolutely enjoy that. I was just maybe this week, I incorporated something that I found so cool. I got these really big leafy vegetables. I mean, my family finds a hard time trying to eat those vegetables. So I got these really big leafy vegetables, the cabbage, the Romanian lettuce, all those lettuces. Anyway, I got the normal food that they would eat, which is like rice and beans, for example, and I put it inside the green leafy vegetable and turned it into a wrap. They ate. My God. I didn't have a lettuce after that, like dinner. By lunch, they were asking me again. I didn't have the cabbage. My God, my family ate. I was like, why didn't I know that I could do wraps to help my family take in their vegetables? Also, another thing I'm doing with vegetables is a lot of smoothies, but I put a lot of peanut butter and bananas to help to help the vegetable to go down, especially in its raw form. Now, most of these tips I got after I had read Dr. Kasenene's book. That book changed how I was seeing nutrition. I was like, my God, I need to do something different. Maybe the last tip that I've gotten from Dr. Kasenene is half of your plate should be in vegetables, one, like a tiny quarter at the top should be a carb, and then the rest is a protein and a plant protein, he advises, but us, we eat any protein. Yeah, so those would be my tips.
Nice, nice. There's always something to pick from Emanuela. I've learned to play with food. You know how you just have maybe a slice of bread and then put two slices of carrot and then do something like a doll, so the plate looks really, really exciting. It will entice the kids to eat. And I've seen your Manuela do it. I think I saw pictures shared a while ago. You just have a banana and play with it, make something like a car, so those things that really like make the kids want to eat something. Another tip is just letting them learn about the benefits, because when they learn, they are more interested. Yeah, I've learned that it really works. Instead of us just get this is for your energy. Don't you want to grow? Man, they are like, mommy, you're just saying. But when they hear it from an educative point of view, they get to understand. So I've just been playing those videos on how important it is to drink more water daily. So they'll have their bottles filled and then sip on every other day. Another tip I learned is smoothies. If there's vegetables they can't take, we just blend them, and they're excited when you involve them in the whole activity of blending. Okay, cut the bananas, let's put them in the blender. You do it together, so they're also excited. They can't wait to test what they made. When it comes to, surprisingly, I think I have two that really like their vegetables. It's the other two that are very, very picky. But for those that like vegetables, actually Zara loves vegetables. Like, you'll do greens and she's anxious, like she wants to eat the greens even before she eats the chicken or anything else, which is pretty amazing. But for the two that don't, I always find a way of having them alternatives of something. I like that you said we'll bring in exotics to add to the locals. Man, the locals are also good, like the mangoes. But then when you bring the strawberries, because that's what they normally see on TV, so they get excited. I even remember a while ago they kept asking, why don't you buy us some strawberries? And you know how they are in our supermarkets, man. Getting them, first of all, is a hassle, but when I find time to get them, I add them onto them. I think there's a time I bought strawberries and they didn't taste as yummy as they thought they would. I think they were not that ripe. Yeah, so they got a bit, discouraged. But with, like I shared earlier, with shopping more fruits and vegetables, they've gotten really accustomed. Like, my boys really love guavas, and they're actually hard to find. Yeah. So when he wants a snack, he'll be like, oh, you didn't find guavas today. So just getting them used to that whole system of eating more natural than, yeah. So we have the Newman cashew nuts. You just let them in that these are healthier than those other things that you're yearning for.
Kalango, madam, kalango.
Yes. So yeah, that's it, Rachel, from me. Over to you.
Wow. I've learned so much from you ladies, and I don't want to belabor any point. Just to emphasize on alternatives, I think recently Manuel and I took a trip to the supermarket and was sort of looking for alternatives to. I didn't even know there was an alternative to spaghetti, but there's the healthy option of spaghetti. Yeah. So maybe quickly as we wrap up the show, maybe in just a few seconds, how have your kids responded? So I think Manuela sort of already talked about how, they loved the lettuce wraps. But generally speaking, how have they responded, and what would your tips be for, moms out there who are dealing with whether it's weight issues or, picky eaters? What one tip would you give them to say this might help you in terms of your child being able to eat healthy, or you yourself eating healthy, in a few seconds?
So I think for me that my kids really took on really well, because even the snacks, we do have a snack meal plan, the breakfasts have a meal plan, and also the way we did it was, even if there's a plan, there's also a plan for the days we eat badly, for lack of a better word. So they still enjoy it. They're still happy to eat. They'll know that now we're going to have a homemade snack, and so we're going to make cake in a microwave, or we're going to make samosa, or we're going to have a supermarket snack, which is maybe gorillas from, from the supermarket. So my kids have really responded positively. They also now know that this is going to last a month. For example, if it's a packet of biscuits, it's going to last a month. If we eat too much or too fast, there will not be any more biscuits until the rest of the month. So they've really taken it on really well. For a mother whose child is a picky eater and you don't know what to do about it, I would say display food everywhere in your home. Put a packet of biscuits somewhere, put a plate of mango somewhere, put grapes maybe, put everywhere, so that in whatever place your child goes to, in the bedroom, or they can see the food and they will pick on it, hopefully. But I know what you're going through. Yeah, that's all I would say. Oh, and then lastly, if you're above 30, honey, mommy, daddy, you cannot be eating certain things.
As painful as that might be, Manuela, when you clock 30, you really have to watch what you eat. Like, people are sipping on their milk tea. Rachel was in the village the other time. All you think of is milk, and man, you're there sipping on your black tea every other day. But we survive. Yeah. So I think I'll still say letting them in on education, like just letting them learn on the benefits of what they get from the nutritious meals. Like, if you eat this, you're going to have your energy. If you eat your protein, you're going to grow. So at the end of the day, even when they reach that class where they are teaching them, they'll be like, yeah, mommy taught me about this already. And also just involving them in the kitchen. It's amazing, but the kids really love this. You'll find that the avocado that he cut himself, he'll enjoy to eat than the one that you're just, giving them. Just tell them, learn how to cut slowly. Just maybe cut it for them and then just tell them to slice. They'll be like, oh, we prepared this meal ourselves. But I also have picky eaters. I know how hard that is. I try to put food everywhere, and they'll still dodge the nutritious food and want to pick on the non-nutritious. But the struggle continues. Like, we just let them learn more. One of my picky eaters, what I saw open his mind was really letting him in on that videos that were teaching about the benefits of good nutrition, benefits of drinking enough water, benefits of having your fiber, drinking milk, so that because he's in that stage where he really, really loves to learn. And he was amazed at what he learned from all that I was telling him. Yes. Back to you, Rachel.
All right. Thanks, ladies. So just a reminder that nutrition starts with you, the parent. If you're not managing your nutrition, and maybe we should have spent more time talking about our nutrition plans, then it's going to be difficult for you to manage nutrition for your family. So first, figure out one for yourself. And like Manuela said, if you're over 30, there are things that you're not supposed to be eating or drinking. So take note of that, and then work through a meal plan, work through educating, work through involving your children, and your family is off to a healthy, long, nutritious life. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Bump Love. I hope you've learned something. If you have any tips or ideas, please do share in the comments below. Until next time, with love from Bump Love.